lleno y vengo como un libro abierto, ansiosa de aprender la historia no contada de nuestros ancestros, con el viento que dejaron los abuelos y que vive en cada pensamiento de esta amada tierra. Quien sabe cuidarlo es quien de verdad la quiera. Vengo para mirar de nuevo, para ver los sitios y despertar el ojo ciego, sin miedo. Tú y yo descolonicemos lo que nos enseñaron, con nuestro pelo negro, con pómulos marcados, con el orgullo indio en el alma tatuado. Vengo con la mirada, vengo con la palabra, esa palabra hablada, vengo sin...
It's a West versus East contest here in the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, as the Bulls play one at home. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And in Chicago to start out, a look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Duncan out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the 3 spot. Now here's Rose. Back to Gibson. And he goes in for the dunk.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Duncan down low. Defended by Gasol. The Spurs shooting their first free throws of the evening.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line. Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Outside Rose to the inside. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls, Clark, had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, a 2-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball require.
Now here's Parker. On the wing, Green. Inside. Tries from the block. Duncan dishes to Aldridge. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Now here's Rose. In the corner, it's McDermott. And Gibson kicks to Rose. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Just 5 to shoot. It's stolen by Duncan. And oh, here we go with Leonard. Nobody back. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
And a nice 1-2 punch there, guys. Great defensive play and great basket in transition.
Aggressive play, attacking basketball, on the attack, full throttle. I love it.
And here are the Bulls now. After the basket by San Antonio. Rose kicks to McDermott. Gibson passes to McDermott. Rose dishes to Butler. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his 3rd assist on the night.
Talk about a great start. 3 of 3 from the field to get the game going. They're cooking with gas, folks.
Now here's Parker. Out to the right wing. Duncan against Gasol. Duncan kicks to Aldridge. The shot is off. Great D that time from Gibson. Left side Rose. No good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively.
Outside Leonard. Rejected by Gasol. One-on-one fast break. It's Butler that time on the assist by Rose. Butler's got his second bucket.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Spurs trail by 3. So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Spurs have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Duncan inside, defended by Gasol. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
Outside Rose. The dish to Gasol. McDermott, no one around him. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol.
And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target. And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Bulls.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
They've established their presence in the paint tonight. Also, a lot of their scoring to this point coming from down low.
Now, here's Gasol. Butler goes up high for the two-handed dunk.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Spurs trail by 6. Parker with it. Inside. Duncan dishes to Aldridge. Gibson with the steal. Now here's Rose. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's his first foul.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
And not afraid to put his body on the line either, Greg. He took a shot for the team in that situation.
Outside, Green. Gibson against Aldridge. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Great looking defense, really, just to disrupt the rhythm on that shot.
Yeah, really turned it from a simple, straightforward look into a very difficult shot.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
That one goes in for him too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
They've been hot here early, dropping them in left and right.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. We'll see how long they can keep it going.
Here's Leonard, and it's Parker at the elbow. Back to Leonard. And it's good on the assist by Parker.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Duncan, and it's 샌안토니오 with another. And here's Rose. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Gasol passes to McDermott. Gasol a screen. Shot off the screen. Gasol with another miss.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
Now here's Duncan after the miss from Pau Gasol. Out to Parker. This one for three. That one goes. Count it. Parker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
Clock at 4. Here's Butler, a great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and nasty jam.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for him here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27-14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Over in the corner, Diaw goes to the reverse layup and drops it in. Diaw's got his first basket.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety. You know, you look back on the Bulls' record last year with 27 home wins. That's pretty solid. Same exact total as they had the year before. They haven't gone below 500 at home since 2008.
Good ball movement here by the Bulls. McCollum with the ball. West picks him up. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. So it's San Antonio now. To the wing right side. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic.
And a big part of why the Bulls are tough at home is this crowd. I mean, sold out every game last season. Led the league in total attendance for 6 straight seasons, averaging over 21,000 fans per game. And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. West setting the pick for Ginobili. To the middle. West kicks to Ginobili. The rebound by Noah. Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
McCollum dishes to Noah. Kick out to Moore. Snell, that's good. Snell's got it all tied up now for the Bulls.
It's almost as if both teams are in a zone.
Well, offensively at least, partner. I mean, neither team's done jack diddly on D.
And here comes Moore leading the fast break. And he bangs it home with one hand.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Ginobili the pass to Anderson. Back to Ginobili. Beyond the arc. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. Moore against Ginobili. And Noah with the slam.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
Spurs trail by 4. Out to the right wing. And stolen by Mirotic. And now Moore pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard, Clark.
Yes,
bringing it down hard,
yes,
my brother.
Yes, sir.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
Now Mills. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Pick by West. Clock at 6. And Mills kicks to Diaw. No good. They had a chance to end the run there.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. Bulls lead by 6. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. And we had the chance to catch up with Greg Popovich, and he talked about how he felt Tony Parker ranks among the league's best point guards.
To be in the conversation, I think, is totally appropriate.
Pop breaking it down and telling it like it is as usual, Clark. You got to love having a guy like that as your coach.
Without question. I mean, you have no idea how huge that is for a player to get that kind of support and backing from his coach. Is Tony Parker a great all-star and champion? In my book, absolutely, without question. But would he have reached that level without Greg Popovich as his coach? I think even Tony would tell you, probably not.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
A ton of good looks for him, Greg, on offense, and it's quality shots they're getting.
On the court right now for the Spurs, Mills and Manu at the guards. Boris Diaw is out there with Anderson, and it's West in at the 5 spot. The kick out to Anderson. Pass to Mills. Diaw with it. West right side. The second chance effort. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
Oh, nice play there to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
Just a whisker away from coming up with the steal there.
Now here's McCollum. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Just 5 on the clock. A 3 ball. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
No good. Great defense that time from Noah. Chicago leading by 11. McCollum kicks it to Noah. He feeds it to Moore. And the basket good.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Pass to Diaw. Quarter number 2. We're about 2 minutes in. And the pass to West. To the paint. Anderson. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Mark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he cashed that one out, almost like the 1-2 punch.
The San Antonio Spurs, a team that has had such a strong core and is so disciplined, Clark, it's hard to see them struggle, even think of them struggling, even on the road.
Well, you know, last season they did have trouble at times on the road, but 22-19, still not too bad.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Pau Gasol is checked in for Noah. Gibson comes in for Mirotic. McDermott's checked in for Tony Snell. And it's Rose in for McCollum.
And for the Spurs on the road, it was the scoring. They were so good at home, but scored 8.5 points less per game on the road. That was the biggest margin in the NBA.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
Boy, it's been a long time since the Spurs had a losing record on the road, so there aren't any concerns for them. I mean, they've never had a losing road record since Tim Duncan was drafted. Wow, that's back to 1997.
Chicago making a switch here. Butler's checked in, and both free throws good for Rose.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, an understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Now here's Duncan. Back to Aldridge. And Gibson sends it back. And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. Outside Gasol. Takes the 3. And there's McDermott. That's good on the assist by Gasol. Gasol's got his 3rd assist on the night. Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, taking himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
And it's Leonard with the jam.
There's that transition offense. Push the ball up the floor. The defense can't get set up, and you can get some easy hoops that way.
And that steal made it possible. And if they can use a few more sequences just like that.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season. But he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
Gibson dishes to Rose. Parker with the steal. Outside, Green. Right side, Leonard. Down low. And the shot is good. The Chicago lead has been cut down now to just 11 on the bucket from LaMarcus Aldridge. And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
Gasol passes to McDermott. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
Bulls had a good year against the West last season, 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well given how many games some of their starting players missed.
Now here's Parker. To the inside. They kick it out to Green. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. And, guys, Tim Duncan still dominant after 18 years. You know, he's reshaped his body. He has gotten a brand-new diet, which he says has had a huge benefit. We saw it in the playoffs last year. Greg, I think, you know, he probably was one of the top 5 overall performers in last year's playoffs.
No doubt about it. We continue to write this guy off, Kevin, and he just continues to defy Father Time. I mean, there was a point where he was starting to feel the wear and tear, especially in his knees, but being the competitor he is, he decided to dictate to his body rather than letting his body dictate to him.
You know, getting back to Duncan, when you talk to his teammates, they'll tell you he's disciplined. He maintains a strict diet, does off-the-floor training, from boxing to swimming, throwing tires, running in the sand. That keeps him motivated and engaged.
And they double up Butler. Here's McDermott off the pick. And Gasol slams it in.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Here's Duncan. The Bulls getting the bucket. And he banks in the layup. Duncan's got 8.
And talking about Duncan's new look, Coach Popovich had an interesting quote. Pop said, I look at him and tell him, you look like Sprewell used to look. Just skin and bones, ligaments and tendons. I mean, but you know what? You can't argue with success, and not many people have had more than Tim Duncan. And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injuries.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season, I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
Now here's Parker. It's Aldridge penetrating. Rejected by Gasol. Clock at 4. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Over Gasol. Here's Green. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Gibson.
Spurs ball.
Aldridge against Gasol. Aldridge drives in. Feeds it to West. That's good.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here. Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half. Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother Mark, who was a 2nd-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
Now here's Parker. He kicks to Aldridge. And there's the feed to West. Here's Leonard. And it's Parker in the corner. Shot clock at 5. Aldridge, no one around him. Ball's knocked loose.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Rose with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. That shot wide open. 12 points for Butler.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Parker dishes to Aldridge. To the inside. Gibson with the steal. And they're running. Pushing it up. Gasol passes to Gibson. Kicks to Rose. He dishes it to Gasol. Passes it to Gibson. It's stolen by West. Inside. Green kicks it to West. Out to Parker. To the middle. Here's Aldridge. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting, his rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
Come on, fellas, we got to pick up the pace. If you see an open look, you got to take it. You have to make them play at our tempo.
He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Mirotic dishes to Noah. The shot is off. Good work defensively by Ginobili.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
Here's Mirotic. The rebound by Anderson.
I like his tenacity getting to the basket there, even though the dunk rattled out. 99 times out of 100, you'll get the dunk or the foul.
And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession. .135 left to play in the first half. Down low, it's stolen by Duncan. Now here's Mills. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Anderson with the ball. Noah picks him up. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
We've got 1:13 left in the first half of the game. Screen by Duncan. Mills passes to Duncan. That doesn't go either for Duncan. The Bulls leading by 12. McCollum kicks to Moore. The dish now to Mirotic. Pass to Noah. Here's Snell. He's covered by Ginobili. Misses the layup. The Spurs shooting a pretty cool 37% from the floor in the second. Not what they're looking for. Anderson dishes to Diaw. Here's Duncan. Good, and it's Diaw with the assist that time. And that's now 10 points for Duncan.
They're scoring boatloads of buckets. It's raining buckets from inside.
Well, the defensive rotations, Greg, have been a step slow, and it's really helped them get that ball inside time after time.
Now, here's Noah. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
You know, they've changed their game here in the second. Getting a little bit more physical, playing with some toughness now.
And I'm looking for them to increase that lead if they can keep getting to the free throw line.
Joakim Noah hits them both. Spurs trail by 12. Here's Mills. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Stolen by Noah. Knocked loose. And here is Mirotic. But clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. It's Chicago. They lead by 12. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Thank you, Kevin. Coach, you haven't seen much work put in off the bench thus far. When we see that second unit after the break, what are you hoping to see from them?
I just want to have a
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 12 points and 1 rebound. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls? And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the...
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen.
And what a game for Butler. 12 points and 1 rebound. You talk about being on, he's been it. Not even 1 missed shot so far.
This is superhuman stuff we're seeing today, guys.
McCollum is out there with E'Twaun Moore. Then there's Mirotic. Then there's Tony Snell. And it's Noah in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. What Popovich said last year, he feels it might actually be the case.
You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Pau Gasol's checked in for Noah. Gibson comes in for Mirotic. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Tony Snell. And it's Butler in for Ejuan Moore.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, you know, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Parker with the steal. And now running up the court, Leonard pushing it up. And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed him there for some reason, I don't know.
Kevin, all I can think of is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Right.
That's a stretch, though. Definitely a strange move on his part.
Rose, he's checked in for the Bulls. The Spurs also with the sub. Boris Diaz checked in for David West. Now here's Parker. And the dunk by Aldridge.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
The Bulls leading by 10. Gasol setting the pick for Rose. Gibson passes to Gasol. Rose attacking. Bulls moving the ball around. It's stolen by Green. In transition, here come the Spurs. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's foul number 2 for him. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Green kicks to Parker. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Rose.
And Tony Parker, at least some of his success can be attributed to playing with talented bigs. I mean, in his rookie season, he plays with both the Admiral and Tim Duncan. He kept that partnership going with Duncan for several more championships. So while talented, he's also been very fortunate.
Well, talking about Parker and the bigs, Tony benefited from their presence, Clark, but they also benefited from his play.
Really, early in their careers, the only way to defend Parker and Duncan was to pack the lane, and once Tony developed a consistent jump shot, the only way to defend them was to hope and pray.
Right. Leonard attacking, can't hit.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Parker dishes to Diaw. He feeds it to Leonard. The kick out to Aldridge. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, how about LaMarcus Aldridge in this one? He's got 14 points, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
And you can't undervalue the importance of that. Many times a game comes down to which team wins the free throw battle.
For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
Butler rebounds San Antonio. Green's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Parker outside. This is to Leonard. And it's good, in the assist by Parker. Parker's got 6 assists in the game.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team in the way they approach the game. That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Pass to Aldridge. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Leonard. Some solid defense from Butler.
And when you look at how Thibs got fired, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why a coach can be let go. I mean, he didn't have any performance issues, but apparently clashed in some form or fashion with the front office. Sometimes that's all it takes to be asked to go somewhere else.
Spurs trail by 9. Outside, Green.
And that's his 4th, and no doubt he would have liked to have not gotten it this soon.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Bulls.
Boy, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
Yeah, and the other thing that they've done well is they've really attacked the gaps of the defense with quick, decisive drives down the lane.
McCollum's checked in for Rose. Gibson the screen. Here's Butler, and he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
And ran his man straight into the screen and got a clear path to the bucket.
That is how it is done.
Excellent team play there on the pick, and then he rips it down.
The tricky little pass fake there, working well. 18 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Now here's McDermott. 8 points for him. And the rejection by Leonard. And the pass to Diaw. Back to Leonard. 6 on the shot clock. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. Said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life.
And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
Kawhi Leonard with another great season last year earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times. Yeah, heads up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Now here's Parker. He's guarded by McCollum. Parker passes to Aldridge. Baseline jumper. Basket made. That gives him 7 field goals in 13 tries.
And, you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
Here's Butler following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Butler missing.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Feeds to Diaw. Back to Leonard. Lets it go from 11, and the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
You know, right call. Gave the officials no choice there. I mean, they've got to make that call over the back.
Yeah, I mean, he went chest first into the man in front of him. My goodness, I'm not an official, and I could have gotten that one right.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. And Tony Snell subbed in for Doug McDermott. McCollum kicks it to Noah. 13 feet away. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Snell's got 8 points.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
Now here's Mills. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
From 7. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. West has got his second basket of the night.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
The feed to Mirotic. Butler goes in. Here's Noah, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
And check out the bounce.
Oh, bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
You
showing
said
him
it,
off
Kevin.
right there. Good move.
You said it, my man. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Now here's Duncan. He's got 10. He kicks to Mills. He dishes it to West. 5 on the clock. Duke drains it as the shot clock ticks down. West has got 4 points in the quarter.
The sweet shooting power forward, D West they call it, spraying jumpers like no other. There are certain things, guys, that you can always count on in life. Death, taxes, and of course the Spurs winning 50 games in the regular season. Happened for the 16th straight season last year.
Well, keeping in mind the Spurs have won 50 games or more for many years in a row, Greg, there are teams out there who can drive cars who have not even seen the Spurs not win 50 games at least in a year.
And the way the Spurs keep on building this team, it's not as if that streak's going to end anytime soon. Those kids might have a chance to vote and do much more before they fail to see the Spurs win 50 games.
The Bulls making a switch here. Moore's checked in. Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. The Spurs making a switch here. Marion's checked in. 1:15 left in the third. Now here's Mills. He's guarded by McCollum. And it's blocked by Mirotic. They retain possession. West dishes to Ginobili. 6 to shoot. Over to the wing. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Deep 2 from Anderson. And 3 chances on that possession. But they just couldn't find a way to score. Here's Snell. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Snell's got 12 points in the game. There's 45 seconds left in the third. Moore against Ginobili. Kicks it to Mills. That shot's good on the assist by Ginobili. Mills has got his first 2 points of the night.
What a pass by the fearless Manu Ginobili. Great teamwork.
Now McCollum, he's got 5. Noah the screen. Anderson with the block. And Ginobili with a clear path to the rack. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Both free throws good from Ginobili. 15 seconds left to play in the third.
And if they're smart, they can hold it for the last shot.
To me, that's got to be the target. Make sure you manage the clock effectively so you do get the last shot.
Snell, the pass to Mirotic. And he's good on the 3-ball. Mirotic has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Bulls lead by 10. And time to step aside quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And the final period of play just about to start. The Bulls leading by 10. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. On the floor for San Antonio, defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. West is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Parker in at point guard. Here's Mirotic, and the layup's good off the glass. Mirotic has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Bulls. Spurs trail by 12. And here's Leonard from three. The rebound by Noah. Noah's got his 7th rebound here tonight. McCollum kicks it to Noah. And it's McCollum in the corner. Can't hit. West with some nice D.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Nobody near Leonard. The shot's good on the assist by West. And that's 15 points for Kawhi Leonard.
Of all the guys you want to leave open out on the perimeter, he is the absolute last guy on the list. Attention to detail. Know your personnel.
Here's Snell. Here's Mirotic. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Outside Leonard. Aldridge a screen. Leonard dishes to Aldridge. Back to Leonard. The kick out to Aldridge. Just 5 to shoot. Inside. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Aldridge has got 12 points here in the second half. The Bulls leading by 7. McCollum with the ball. Kick out to Moore. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. They set the pick. Mirotic with it. Leonard picks him up. West with the block. Leonard attacking, and he dunks it down.
Boy, that was a thing of beauty by Parker.
Now here's McCollum. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Well, David West's usage and overall numbers have ticked away with time. He's still as efficient as ever.
Yeah, not the over 50% field goal guy he used to be, but still a valuable contributor on the block.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, I was able to listen in on what the head coach of the Chicago Bulls was going over in his huddle. He said, we are this close to finishing them off, but the job is not done yet, and I don't want to see any let-up out there. We'll see how well his point got across, guys.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Some firepower, Clark, from this offense.
Yeah, Kevin, how about the air of confidence? I mean, they really look like they believe in what they're doing.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
And for West, a lot of what he brings to the table is just professionalism, leadership, and a real example of how to get the most out of what you've got. He keeps everybody on the team focused, too. When he speaks, guys listen.
Now, Green. Pau Gasol missing from long range. And the stuff by West.
And when they desperately needed to get things turned around, they were able to rally and get back into it.
And, Greg, it was really their defense just as much as their offense that served as the real catalyst, and I think it allowed them to put that run together.
And it's the Bulls with the ball. After the basket by San Antonio. Rose passes to Gasol. Here's McDermott. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
West guy's still very strong as a player, but clearly it's his leadership that sets him apart. Does all those little intangibles that help teams win games.
Now here's West. Here's Leonard. Great D that time from Gibson.
And that's the way you want to defend. Nice job there.
Always important to have that good interior defense.
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. He makes it look fun and easy.
You look at Jimmy Butler. He's really been playing well.
He's on fire. And they needed to put their heads together to figure out how to get the ball out of his hand.
San Antonio calls timeout.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on and on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Boris Diaz checked in for West, and it's Ginobili in for Daniel Green.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
Gibson with the screen on Parker, and it's Rose penetrating. McDermott, the open look. It's Chicago with another bucket. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there, and most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
Here's Aldridge following the basket by Doug McDermott. Aldridge kicks to Parker. Gasol with the block. Butler on the wing. Rose dishes to Gibson. Gasol passes to McDermott. Butler attacking. Passes it to McDermott. Here's Gibson. And the rejection by Leonard. Ginobili against Rose. Ginobili kicks to Diaw. The three-pointer is right on target.
Those are the types of shots down the stretch that win you ball games.
The Bulls leading by 5. Outside Rose. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Can you believe the job they're doing at the foul line since halftime? I mean, they've been perfect so far.
Yeah, as cool as can be, Clark. Great focus and efficiency. That's how they built this lead.
And the dunk by Aldridge.
Up high and down hard with the one-hander.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt.
Now here's Rose. Now the dish to Gibson. To the inside. Gasol kicks to Gibson. Here's Butler. No luck. Good work defensively by Ginobili. Here's the break. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Aldridge, no luck. Chicago leading by 6. Outside Butler. Pass to Rose. He feeds it to Gibson. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Here is Parker. Diaw, the screen. Parker kicks to Diaw. Dishes it to Leonard. Pass to Aldridge. They set the screen. Park down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. Here's Rose. Gibson the screen. Outside Rose. The kick outside to Butler. That doesn't go either for Butler. Spurs trail by 8. And here's Leonard from 3. Rebounded by McDermott. The Bulls have gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. Left side Rose. Out to the right wing. McDermott kicks to Butler. The kick out to Rose. Shot clock at 6. Hands it from downtown. And now an 11-point Bulls lead.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Love the mentality there, I tell you. I know I've never coached, but, man, playing to win and being aggressive even with the lead as opposed to being safe and going into prevent offense, I'll take the former all day long. Play to win.
San Antonio calls timeout. The Bulls making a switch here. Noah's checked in. The Spurs also changing it up. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Aldridge. Green comes in for Boris Diaw. And it's Mills in for Parker. Now here's Mills. Three-pointer. That's good.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And their lasers are starting to do their thing. I mean, that's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
Rose with the ball. Covered by Mills. Rose goes in. Noah, the pass to McDermott. And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. And that'll be his third foul so far. Noah dishes to Butler. And there's the pass to Rose. Clock at 6. Feeds it to Noah. Here's Butler in a strong finish with two hands.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
So it's San Antonio now, trailing by 10. And here's Mills from the arc. Here's Ginobili. Inside, Duncan powered down after the assist, led him into the lane.
And he bangs down the one-hander.
Two very easy points right there for sure.
He'll take those all day.
1:24 left in the fourth quarter. The feed to McDermott from downtown. Rebound San Antonio. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Green leading the charge. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play. Rose. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
This is where their depth becomes such an asset, Kevin. He's gone for the remainder of the game, but fortunately, they're able to field a very capable replacement.
What's up? What's up?
And that one misses. The Bulls leading by 6. McCollum with the ball. Picked up by Ginobili. And Butler, here we go. In the corner, it's McDermott. Offensive rebound. Kicks it to McCollum. Butler on the wing. Ginobili with the steal. Here's Leonard. Count it!
Oh, man, what a turnaround. Sensational play on D, and then the rapid-fire run to the basket.
Craig, they didn't wait around, did they? They went right for the throat.
Guys, this is crunch time now. When you got a chance to capitalize on the turnover, you got to take it and make it.
Absolutely critical chance right here.
They need this one to go their way.
Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Boy, and just look at what Leonard is doing.
And so here is Chicago. 17 points was their biggest margin. Noah kicks to Butler. Noah the screen. Passes it to McDermott. Back to Butler. Just 5 on the clock. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
For the Bulls, 2 shots. Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let him dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, you got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Mills passes to Leonard. And it's Leonard again missing. And so it's Chicago winning this one. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but Clark, a win nonetheless.
Yeah, it appeared to me as though the fans gave them the emotional boost they needed down the stretch, Kevin. This crowd was not going to let this one slip away.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Pal, first off, congratulations on the win. How do you guys evaluate the progression of this team and how things are going right now?
Well, we're getting there. It's we're working hard, executing and going through our plays every practice so we can execute better during games. And I think today we did a decent job of it. I think we still can improve. Too many turnovers, so we gave them a lot of opportunities.
Pal, thank you. Kevin, talent is one thing. Team is an entirely different thing.
All right, Doris, thank you. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Jimmy Butler. He put up a new season high tonight. And if he keeps shooting like he did tonight before the season's over, he might top it. A big key to his team's victory here.
Well, he reminded us all of how dangerous he is as a slasher. He drove the lane time and time again and got points inside to show for it. An explosive, hard-charging performance. I loved it.
I don't know if there's a fan base that loves their star more than this crowd. Wow. You get jealous, and he feeds off that support. Once they got behind him, he became unstoppable, man.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal,